told our team before the game that this was a contender or pretender game, that you're going to be a contender if you win, and you're going to be a pretender if you lose. You went and you beat all these top teams. Now, the emotion, you know, of coming off that win over Cleveland State with one-day prep, you're not going to have a great prep for them. They're a hard team to prep for anyways because all the stuff, the guy's a really good coach, and all the stuff they do. So the prep was a tough one-day prep, and we knew it was going to be hard. And I told him in the locker room, the last thing I said to him before we came out, this game's going to be come down to the last possession. It's going to be a grind. We got to find a way to be 1 point ahead when it's over. And how about that shot that kid threw a double team from 28 feet? But I felt confident going into overtime that we had gotten over the hump, and I felt really good. We had energy, and we were able to find a way to win the game. These two guys had a heck of a lot to do with it.
Opening up for questions for Jalen Hayes and Nick Daniels.
Nick, what's it like coming in after you played 2 minutes and you made 1, 2, 3 of these really tough shots, a couple spin moves in there, and the 3?
It's just normal. You know, Coach tells me all the time, like, if you don't get that many minutes, just tune into the game, and when your name is called, be ready to play. And that's what I really did. When he called my name and said, let's go, I was ready to play.
No nerves on a big shot like that. Is it? You said it was natural, but did you just feel that was your, emotion or your shot to make at that time?
Yeah, I'm just real confident with my shot. So, Coach said I'm a shooter. When he wanted me to shoot it, I'm gonna shoot it, and I felt like I was open, so I just let it fly.
Can I say something about that? The first time I ever saw him play, he was playing, and he was in a game with. Who was the Piston from Detroit, from Kentucky?
Knight.
Brandon Knight. And it was a game point. And in a pickup game. And he had the ball, and Knight was wide open, and he looked him off and buried the game winner. And I said, I want that kid. And that's who he is. He believes he's going to make everything he takes. That's why I had him on the floor at the end of the game, because the way we were playing, we needed somebody like that.
I'm sorry, I think you were down 10 and you yelled something to your team at that point. I didn't quite get it. Do you remember what you yelled to them? And obviously that was desperation time for you guys.
I told them that we were going to win it with our defense and not to worry about that we can't make a shot. And that we had to dig in and get 4 stops in a row.
Jalen, career at 27, just how much confidence are you playing with right now?
I'm playing with a lot of confidence right now. My team, my teammates have given me a lot of confidence. They trust and believe that I can, be that guy at the 4 spot on a consistent night to, whether that's, put points on the board or rebound the ball or just help out in any way I can. So with them pressuring Corey the way they did, I was able to get a couple open looks. So I want to take advantage of that.
It seems like you draw a lot of contact down there. It's the second game in a row you've went to the free throw line double-digit times. Just seems like you don't really shy away from the contact.
Well, yeah, Coach has stressed to me the fact that I can't shy away from the contact. I got to go up strong, whether that's whether there's contact or not. I got to go up strong every time. So that's what I've been focusing on.
To either one of you, I know Monday was a very emotional game, and you had LeBron James in here and all this stuff. Did it feel different tonight at the beginning? Did you have to overcome some emotional things to really get into the game?
Well, for me, I would say every league game is very, very important. So I feel like myself and the team came in the same way we came in Monday night. Of course, it's a little bit different because Cleveland State is, at the top of the standings, and Wright State is in the middle, middle of the road. So you always game plan different for different teams, but as far as emotion, I feel like we came in the same way we did Monday night.
And Nick, can you kind of just talk about the confidence you guys have in Jalen right now? It seems like you guys really are confident going to him.
Yeah, we're real confident going in with Jalen. He's really taking pressure off of Corey, and he's bringing a lot to the table. So, and Jalen is really working hard and doing everything he could to get where he is now. So.
Coach Kampe, you mentioned that now you're a contender now rather than a pretender. You could tell me, why do you feel that you guys are in this position right now? What's getting this club going?
Well, Terry, I just been around a long time, and I know when you go and play the games we play, we had it handed to us at Detroit, and in the most important game of the year, we came up really bad, and we came home and we had to play the best team in the league, and we beat them, and we beat them from start to finish, and we rode that emotional wave through Cleveland State, Milwaukee, teams that had beaten us. And I just felt now, after that big win Monday night, I've seen it for 37 years, there's letdowns. The championship teams find a way to win in those evenings. And the pretenders lose that game and then go in the locker room and make excuses. And that's what we talked about. We had one-day prep. We had guys play 40-some minutes the other night. Tonight we had 4 guys play over 40 minutes. So how mentally tough are they? And like I told them, I can't use the language I used in the locker room, but I told them they are one tough, and you can imagine what the other words were after it. And that's why we won. And that's why I believe we're a contender, because of our toughness. Because I think Joe Average would have lost at home tonight.
Any more questions for the players or Coach Kampe?
Coach, can you just kind of talk about Jalen?
Let's let them leave. They got people.
Thank you, guys.
Can you just talk about the way Jalen's been playing as of late? It seems like you've really been going to him a lot.
Well, I've told you this about a couple of our guys. You know, they're on nights if we can get them to turn green, they become the Incredible Hulk. So those nights we can't get them to turn green. And I got a couple kids like that, and tonight Jalen, coming off a great game Monday night, we got him to come out and be the Hulk. And that kid, the sky is the limit for that kid. You know, the one thing he's not doing that he does in practice and he won't do in the game is he can shoot the 3. He can shoot the ball. Look at how he shoots free throws. He can shoot the ball. That tonight they dropped way off him and he had it, but he hasn't. He's like 0 for 5 on the year, and every possession is so important right now. But once he starts getting comfortable and makes one, he's really going to become a problem matchup when he starts stepping out and making threes, and he can do that. We had a scrimmage in the preseason, and he was 4-4 from the 3. So he is a tough matchup, especially when the best center in the league is next to him. Because who's going to guard him? They can't put their best defender on him, the postman, because Corey's going to be there. And there aren't a lot of teams that have 2 post defenders that can really guard the post. So now you've got to gimmick. And when they gimmick, now Dante and people are going to get wide open shots. We couldn't make them tonight. Max Hooper, who's a tremendous shooter, was 0 for 5. And our shots weren't even close now. Boy, we made some big ones. And Nick Daniels came in and made some big ones. He's got that assassin in his blood, man. I mean, he is. I think those 2 guys would have helped us last year.
You know, there's a bunch of coaches that don't have faith in freshmen, and obviously you do. Why do you feel, not only can they play, but do it on the big stage and in the big games? What is it about them?
I played for a guy who was like what you're talking about, and I know what it did to me. And I've never, ever done that with a kid. If you're good enough to be here and wear Oakland uniform, my expectation for you is you better be able to play, and you better believe you can play. And I tell our kids this: it is not my job to give you confidence. It's your job to give me confidence. So you better go play. Because I never tell anybody that's a bad shot. I tell them it's a bad time to take that shot. And I've coached a lot of shooters. Travis Bader shot more threes than anybody in the history of the game. And I told him there were a couple poorly timed shots, but never a shot. So that's the philosophy, and hopefully they thrive in that. Some kids would, maybe some kids wouldn't. But it all comes back to, we do what we experience in life. And I know what being told not to shoot did to me as a player. Not that I was any good, I wasn't. But I know what it did to me.
Any more questions for Coach?
Do you ever consider fouling at the end of regulation up by 3?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that because there's a lot of people, including maybe my boss, that probably wonder that. And here's what we said in the timeout. There were 11 seconds to go. If it gets under 5 and I yell red, and you hear red, you foul, now in the act of shooting. Well, when it got under 5, we had a trap 27 feet from the basket. Kid made an unbelievable shot. He tomahawked it in. He didn't even shoot it. He tomahawked it in. Here's why, okay? If we foul with 5 or 6 seconds to go in that game, they go and make the first one. They miss the second one. Who's going to get the rebound?
Hopefully you.
We're going to get it, but who is going to get it? Corey Petros, who makes 33% of his free throws. So now with 5 seconds to go, we're going to go to the other end, and he's going to miss 2 free throws. And we're only going to be up 2. And now they got 5 seconds to come down, and now what do? Do you foul? Give them 2 free throws to tie it? Or do they come down and make a 3 and beat you? If my 2 rebounders could make free throws, then we foul. I'd have fouled with 7 seconds left. Jalen Hayes has proven that he can make them. Corey's been here 4 years and he can't. So am I going to say, come on, Corey, make them? Or am I going to be smart and say, let's defend the crap out of them and make them make a tough shot? Tonight they made it. We've won. We beat Cleveland State in the same situation, and we beat Green Bay in the same situation. We got them. Cleveland State's shot was identical, right? Trapped, almost the exact same spot on the floor. Missed. Juwan Howard last year here in the game against Detroit, same situation. Although it was a 1-point game, not a 3-point game. We played great defense. This time the kid made it. I was very confident we were going to win in overtime. We had gotten through the voodoo, the Zen master, whatever that is, it took us to get ahead. I felt we would win in overtime. The complexion of the game had changed. Plus, their big man fouled out, and Kendall Griffin had gotten hurt. So I felt really good about going to overtime. Okay, long answer to a short question, sorry.